go. Thanks so much for joining the show tonight. You're watching Seeing the Unseen with your host, Christopher LaPrath. And my name's Kenan. I'm here to do a quick introduction for everybody. And yeah, we've got a great show for you tonight. The title is called In Tune, which I've got a few quick things to say about that before I get started here. But before I get into that, just a quick piece of housekeeping, which is anybody who's here watching the show for the first time, just be sure to say hi in the chat so we know that you're here, and that way we can do a reading for you. The first time, of course, is always free, and going forward after that, we charge $10 a reading, or you can pay $100 and cover the entire month, which, by the way, thank you all so much for being here and being so consistent. It's such an honor to be able to be here and spend time with you all. Now, tonight's show, the title is In Tune, and ultimately we're these electromagnetic beings that are resonating at a certain frequency. Now, Marcel Vogel spoke very frequently about coherence and the miracles that he saw in many cases of just unbelievable healing that he studied. More recently, Dr. Joe Dispenza is another one who has shown in thousands of different cases all over the world of cases that the human body is just capable of the most miraculous recovery. Things that are medically impossible, or at least very unlikely, happen with the right mental condition. Now, we're ultimately pure consciousness, and we're consciousness expressing itself in all these various forms. Now, our choices are always either raising or lowering our vibratory rate. I explain this very frequently. And every single thought counts. And the quality of our thoughts determines our reality. So, no pressure or anything, but I hope you all think really happy thoughts out there and enjoy the show tonight. Here's Christopher with more to say on that. Thanks so much for watching.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Happy Monday night. Thank you for being here. And I always start the show by lighting the incense. This incense is going to go out to every one of you who are raising your frequencies, raising your vibration. And to enhance that, to strengthen that, and to be more aware of that. For instance, if you take two violins and you place them in opposite corners of the room, and you strike one string of one violin, miraculously, the other violin will start playing that chord. It's the law of resonance, that chord. Millions and millions of vibrations or frequencies, wave patterns, are sent out across that room and affecting everything and everyone in that room, including that string. It's not just that string, it's everything else in the room. But it just so happens that that particular violin, who's tuned the same as the other violin, it strikes a chord with that violin. This is the law of frequency. So you might not be having such a great day. And Laurel, I know you can probably relate to this, or we really all can. But maybe you're not having a really great day, but you go out and you get around music. Let's say you go and you listen to a band or you listen to a concert, and all of a sudden, that's resonant frequency. All of a sudden, you're feeling much, much lighter, much better. okay? Because that frequency is striking a chord within us. So, I realized all of you tonight, you know I pull a card for you, but it's way more than that. When I pull a card for you individually, everyone else is benefiting from the frequency of that message. But you're also studying mediumship. You're also studying intuition. And so I wish there had been some kind of gauge when we started the show over a year ago to gauge your intuition and how much it's grown, because you've been on this show 3 to 4 times every week for an entire year. So you cannot help, even with the laws of physics, you cannot help but be affected in a positive way by these frequencies. And these are light frequencies, these are sound frequencies that are going through the camera, through the microphone, and these are blessings. And so really, when you think about it, these wave frequencies can be altered. So if you're feeling down, put on some music, smell something, use an essential oil. You can go to the cabinet, smell cinnamon, right? You may not have essential oils, but it alters the frequency, okay? And we as humans are meaning-making machines. Everything is layered on top of one another for a meaning. It's how we learn. It's how we associate our present experience with the past. Okay? Let me give you some examples. And we make up the meaning of the present by the accumulation of our past experiences. Do you want me to say that again? We make up the meaning of the present, of what we're going through, based on the accumulation of our experiences. So the good part of this is, there's a good part to this, is that we can move through our day without relearning how to make breakfast, how to get dressed in the morning, how to find our way home. See, all of those are based on our previous experiences. When we were younger, we learned to cook breakfast. When we were younger, we learned to get dressed, and we repeat those experiences. But everything in our world is based on interpretation. So Lindsay, you're an artist. You and I can go to an art gallery, and it might be really hard for me to pull you away from a certain section of that gallery because you're just enamored. Your perception of this art is just, it's gluifying. You're just kind of stuck to it, right? You're just kind of, wow. And I could care less. I'm like, hey, let's get out of here. I want to go to lunch. It's your perception, all right? So we can make conscious our interpretations. For instance, okay, so we get up in the morning, we automatically make breakfast, okay? That's the meaning making. We layer learnings on top of one another. But what if you only learned to make deep fried pork rinds for breakfast? Or what if you got dressed in only spandex? Not good. Maybe. But my point is that you can expand your learning around what you just think you've learned. This is what is interesting about humankind. It's called the know-it-all syndrome. So let me explain what that is. I got some splaining to do. So let's say you go into a library and you pick the first book off the shelf, and it's a book from the 1900s, and you assume, and you look at all the thousands and thousands of books, you assume that all the books are about the 1900s. That's the know-it-all syndrome. So you may know how to get dressed, you may know how to fix breakfast, but how else could you do it? What else can you make? What else can you wear besides spandex? What else is there? So when you're talking about these emotions and these memories that come up because we base all of this on the past, wait a minute, how else can I think about this? Okay? You've never been here before. You've never experienced this show before. Not like tonight. You've never experienced today like today. Yet your mind is always trying to find a way to make it familiar. Can we just be free and make it unfamiliar and just be okay with that? So, I have some news. It's the end of the world, said the caterpillar. Are you kidding me? The world is just beginning, said the butterfly. So, are you willing to explore your interpretations? That's all I'm asking. Are you willing to explore your interpretations? Because you have a responsibility to own your own interpretations and to navigate through them and looking at new ways of looking at things. That's what I wanted to share with you tonight. So we've got the group card. The incense is burning. Lots of blessings to expand your interpretation, to expand your awareness, to really tune into your intuition, which is really what this show is about, which is my goal in helping you do that, to really learn to be a magician and to gain your muchiness, right? Just like Alice in Wonderland. Gain your muchiness back. So the group card is the Merkaba activation. I'm not going into a long metaphysical explanation of this, but this is the Ascension card. Now, people think, oh, I'm going to leave my body and it's going to be the rapture and I'm going to go ascension into heaven. No, this is ascension of your vibration, okay? So this is when you walk into a room, people light up because they feel your vibration. They feel your ascension. They feel that energy and they are just lit up because it activates them. And to have you maintain that activation, that's the point of this Merkaba activation. It is, you are lighting up, okay? You are expanding. This is the raising your vibration and becoming magnetic to the presence and wisdom of light and brightness and awareness. Being all day long into this state of ascension, okay? So you be more aware of energy, more aware of information and downloads that you're receiving, and being free of trying to explain it related to the past, but creating something new with it right now. That's what this card is about. And who do we have on first?
Yeah, John first.
John is first. Okay. I have 12 decks to choose from now. So we're going to... I know you got a great card last night, John, and I'm going to bless everyone here on the show, including Kenan and myself, with this fortune card. I remember that was the first card of the show last night, and really looking at how fortunate every one of us is. Every one of us to be able to experience this life on this earth is extraordinary. So, let's see what you've got tonight, John. This is a brand new deck that I've got. Again, I was telling you last night, it's called the Voyager deck. John, I don't understand. I'm not kidding. I did not. What? This is a deck of 84 cards. Am I having deja vu here? Guys, that was it was a deck of it's a deck of 84 cards. So when things like this happen, I go, what? So let me back up and explain something here. I can't see you with my eyes. You can see me, but I want to try to explain when I do a reading for you what it is I see. So picture somebody just kind of floating on their back in the water. And they have their eyes closed and they're just kind of enjoying that freedom. So they don't necessarily see the rubber ducky floating by them. Or they don't see the piece of driftwood. Or they don't see the fish swimming underneath them. But you see them. That's what I see. So it's how my brain works. It's how the neuroscientist tried to explain to me how my brain works. Is I see your field, and it's like a field. Like you're floating in water, and I see the rubber ducky and the driftwood and the fish, or whatever it is that's in your field. And I have it's like, just like you could reach down and pull the rubber ducky and put it next to the next swimmer. This fortune card, even I get kind of like, what is happening here? Because this is a deck of 84 cards, and I pulled the same card for the same person 2 nights in a row. The statistics of that is extremely high. So words are prayers, and I can take these words as prayers or as vibration or frequencies and add that to your field, or it's something your guides, your spirit, your, however you want to term it, God. I'm not one for labels, but whatever this is reminding you and all of us of what is in our fields or what other people need in their fields. And so this is developing your Midas touch, John. It's, look how fortunate you are. Look at how fortunate you have become. And all of us to look at how fortunate we are, because more will be given. when we see how fortunate we are and what we have, then it opens up a space for more to be given to us. So again, it's that expansive frequency of positiveness and canceling out the negative waves. So if you have two waves, right, and they meet each other, if they're opposite waves, though, this wave will cancel this wave out. This positive wave can cancel this negative wave out, because the peaks and troughs of this wave are completely 180-degree opposite of this wave, which is negative. So this positive wave comes along and wipes out the negative wave. This is the wave of abundance. This is the wave of fortune. How fortunate every one of us is. And this fortune is going to increase for all of us, because now it's in all of our fields. Did I explain that okay, Kenan?
Great job.
Even I go, you know, Hannah was talking to Kenan last night, and somebody had told her that she was going to see something about Alice in Wonderland, and that there was an important message for her around that. And last night we were talking about Alice in Wonderland, and she was really going to town. She was freaking out as much as I just freaked out over this fortunate card for you, John, because I'm like, what is the chances of that? Do you see how thick my deck is? That's like 84 cards. And for that card, the same card to come out, it's double fortune. So, do you have anything else to say on that, Kenan?
Just the exponential fortune. That was my first thought.
It's what?
Exponential.
It's exponential fortune is what Kenan just said. Yeah. Okay. Who?
Lindsay's up next.
Who?
Lindsay.
Okay, Lindsay.
No, that was far out, really.
That was really far out.
Yeah, that one's ready to go.
Lindsay, what card did you get last night? This is the master of your thoughts. And as you know, emotions never last forever. They never even hardly last a full day. They come and they go. Emotion comes from the Latin term energy, in motion. It's just energy, and energy is moving in and out and up and down and all around all the time. This is you becoming much more stable in what it is that you want. Go for it. Go for this partnership. Go for this ability and willingness to let go of defining who you are by doing. Because who you are, Lindsay, is quite enough. It's amazing. Like who you are. I send you this vibration of extremely high frequencies of being and knowing that you are unique and special. And every one of us can feel that reverberate, and that those words and that spell reverberate through each one of us, because every one of us is unique and special. And these high vibrations will knock out or cancel the negative lower vibrations. This is the Emperor card. This is the expanding your kingdom, expanding your influence, expanding your awareness of spiritual matters, spiritual things. So
She said last time she got the Sage of Worlds and the Ace of Wands.
Okay, thank you, Lindsay. So this is a very similar card, but the Emperor is even above the Sage and the Ace of Wands. This is like really becoming more and more solid with what you came here to do and who you are. And that every word out of your mouth comes true. So the Emperor is really careful with what he says and who he says it to. Okay? So speak well of yourself, speak well of how things are going to work out for you, because they are. And because you're right on top of John's card, which is the Fortune card. Okay? In fact, all of our cards from this show onward is going to lay on the top of that Fortunate card, and it will build on that Emperor card. Okay? So here we go. Who's next?
Yeah, Marilyn's up next. Marilyn Pitts.
Hey, Marilyn Pitts. So when I was going through first through like second, third, fourth grade, we had a cafeteria. And, we'd go down there every day for lunch. And they had those old steel trays. And for some reason I was at the end of the line, but they ran out of pudding. And I always remember that and that feeling of not having pudding that day. So at that time, it really kind of affected me. And then you realize that when you get home, you can go buy as much pudding as you want or make your own pudding. This is any sorrow, Marilyn, leaving your field, any lower vibration. And what replaces that is on the other end is this joy. And that joy, every feeling of joy cancels out that sorrow, replaces that sorrow, any sorrow that you've experienced. That me not having the pudding was a construct of my mind. And I didn't have the wherewithal at the time to go, wait a minute, I can go home, my mom makes pudding. I can go to the store and buy pudding. I never put that together. But these trials that are given to us give us an opportunity to wear something other than spandex, or to look at life differently. And they give us an opportunity because we contracted to come to this planet to learn or to study or to experience every one of these emotions. Joy, sorrow, sadness, ecstasy, all of them. And I realized that there were really other good things to eat other than pudding. So there are other opportunities, other joys coming to you to cancel out the sorrow. Okay? And you've done really, really well with canceling out any of that sorrow. But it's going to get better and easier for you. More, way more.
It's Laurel, Lady Laurel.
Hey, Lady Laurel. Okay, Laurel, here we go.
Marilyn's just getting that down. That's nice.
So Laurel, I know this. Miguel was on the show the other night. I shared this with you all last night. That Wednesday night when I gave him the reading, I was talking about Hawaii, and then 2 days later, his cousin called him and said, "Hey, we're planning a family reunion in Hawaii." This is something with a cruise, going on a cruise, or even just there's a man coming through. It feels like a father. That's reminding you to go on the water. Whether that's a boat, like a fishing boat. So I don't know if your father fished or grandfather, but there's this father figure, and it would be to quiet the mind. You don't take the boat out on a stormy day. Just don't. You take the boat out on a calm day in order to calm the mind. So this is a message of calling in your high priestess, calling him in, calling this high priestess in, being on the water, and just that feeling, that relaxation of you being on the water. That's where you're moving to. And you allow things to surface. You be still and everything comes to you rather than you chasing it. What a great message for all of us. Thank you. Thank you, Laurel. This is coming to you. It's like still the mind. And if you literally need to, so your grandfather fished. Yeah. They're this is having more of a spiritual aspect, Laurel. For instance, there's no gender in heaven. But when they come to me, they appear as they were here on the planet. But he's talking about, yeah, I'm with your grandmother, but we're not like married. You have lots and lots of relationships. Marriage is a earthly construct to propagate the species. And he's got a really good sense of humor. He's kind of like chuckling, like, you've done really well with propagating the species. Like you came here, now you've got something better. You've got something not better, but you've got something really big to do, something else to do, and it's quieting the mind. So actually taking some days off. I don't know if you're taking a cruise or planning a cruise, but it's getting out on the water. Oh, that's really cool. That he was a fisherman in Chesapeake Bay, because I got this sailing boat. Do you see here in this card? I immediately my eyes went to this sailing boat, and I saw this father image come through and talk about just the way you felt on the water, or the way he felt on the water, is what's coming to you more. It's how your whole life will become. It's how just this USA. What a great message for all of us. Thank you. Peace. Yeah. Okay, who's next?
Hannah's up next.
Okay, Hannah. Are you willing to let go of trying to figure it all out? This is the brilliance card. Yes, you're brilliant. You're smart. And but brilliance can be blinding, especially to yourself. And anywhere, Hannah, that you're free of holding yourself to the past, are you willing to let go of that easily and comfortably now? And I'm going to ask every one of you, anywhere, are you willing to be free of holding yourself to the past? And if you need to, just even close your eyes, use scissors or a knife, and cut that cord. Because when a baby elephant is small, they need a big, huge rope and chain to chain that elephant to the pole. But as the elephant grows and the bigger it gets, an adult elephant, all they need is a string to attach to the leg. And if the elephant feels that string, it correlates it to the chain or to the rope. So this is about breaking free of that. And it's what I was talking about. Be free of allowing your mind to find ways for things to be familiar, or to be familiar with the past, and let go of that. Did I explain that okay?
I think so, yeah. Diane's up next.
Okay, Diane?
Yeah.
Okay, Diane. All right. So do you understand how each of these messages for each one of you, they're all like synchronistic. There's some kind of synchronicity here that's moving through, because we're all smart. If it had to do with figuring it out with the mind, we would have been multimillionaires living in a yacht in Chesapeake Bay years ago, if it was something we could have figured out. This is energy. All right, this is energy. So let me back up. I'm going to carry this theme a little bit further. What I see sometimes in people's field, remember I explained about the rubber ducky or the floating piece of driftwood or the fish. What I see sometimes in your field is the past. It'll be like floating into your field, like a rubber ducky. Or it actually could be attached spirits. It could be, I'll use the experience of one of you on the show. And you know who I'm talking about. She was a nurse and for years and took care of hospice patients. Marilyn, I'm talking about you. Okay, Marilyn Pitts. Where it was a daily activity and you weren't aware of some of these spirits attaching to you. So we can go into, that's why I told you before, I don't go to cemeteries, because think about this. Cemeteries are where people go, not just the dead are buried, but where people go to grieve. They dump their emotions into the earth, they're into the stones, into the trees, and the place just vibrates, has a frequency of sorrow, of loss. How much more so in a hospital? So I've got to give you huge kudos, Marilyn, to have come through that. And so with you, Hannah, it's where if you were in a frequency for a few weeks or a few months of self-deprecating dialogue from other people, you understand how you can get used to that type of spandex or deep fried pork rinds. Did you get that metaphor? Okay. So, also, what I also see in your field is not just spirits sometimes. I'm not just saying I'm seeing anyone's field. Are these projections or these belief systems put upon you by others, by organizations, by families? And they look different to me as well. So just like you can't compare a piece of driftwood to a fish or rubber ducky, each of these looks very different to me. So the cards help to pinpoint what this is, because this is about, Hannah, your heart opening up and allow this expansion of the feelings. And it wasn't wrong or bad what happened before, but it just caused you to get too much into your head and to try to figure things out and how to fix a situation that didn't need to be fixed or could be fixed. Okay, who's after Hannah?
It's Diane.
Okay, Diney. All right. I had to preface that. So I'm not sure who this is. It's a child. Oh, it's you. Anywhere where you were wounded or limited or restricted as a child, you're free now. You're just simply free now. That was then. This is now. And you absolutely have the freedom to stop making the mind, finding a way to make it familiar in the present because of what the past was. So this is the picturing yourself, finding a picture of yourself as a child and just going, hey, it's okay now. That was then, but this is now. And actually healing that inner child. And anywhere where you have lost children in this lifetime or previous lifetimes, are you willing to just let that go easily and comfortably? Because that was part of the lesson, and you're free of needing to carry that forward in any future lifetimes, unless you choose to. It's always a choice. But there's this, you've been here many times, we've all been here many times. We've been children, we've died as children, we've had children, some of those children have died, we've died many times over. But again, the caterpillar goes, "Oh, it's the end of the world," and the butterfly goes, "No, no, no, it's a new beginning." Tell yourself this is a new beginning, and any of that energy from that loss, are you willing to let go of now? Okay, that was good. Here we go.
Great, it's Scott EB next. Scott.
Hey, Scott?
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Good, good, good. Wands, Scott, are like writing instruments. They're the instruments of magic. And this is the sage of wands coming down to you, the knower and the recorder. So for those cultures that didn't have any written language, they were the stories that were passed on and passed on and passed on. So is Lana on today?
Yes.
So Lana has been writing her stories down, and she's finding she's a really good writer. Elk Lady. She's a really good writer. Like, she tells some really good stories. And this is you really, really digging deep and finding out your gift in this, and who and what you really are as a sage. And sage, even the sage that cleans your energy field is being cleansed and cleansed and cleansed, so that now you have more room to create, create, create. And what a great card that you come after Diane and Hannah and Laurel, about this feeling of freedom and peace and ease and being on the water and just what that brings to you. That's what you're moving into, and you're recording this for the ages and for future generations. These are the stories that will be passed on for centuries. Make no mistake about that. Okay.
Nice. Elk Lady's next one.
Okay, Lanny. All right. I was just talking about you, and I didn't know you were on. I love Kenan as the producer. He always lets me know who's on next. So thank you for being here. What these stories are doing, Lana, they're actually bringing you comfort. I know you're writing them for other people and for your family and for us, for the world, but these are nurturing stories. These nurture the soul. You know, like our generation, when they needed comfort, they would do it with food. Or our parents' generation, I should say, they would do a lot of comforting with food. This is your stories, and again, Scott, this is you as well, where your stories are nurturing for the soul. So people have no problem feeding the body. They know that they need to eat, right, to keep the body alive. But these stories keep the spirit alive. That's what we're really doing. When we have these incredible experiences, like John, first one pulling the fortune card twice in a row. I was like, what is that? Or Miguel having that phone call of Hawaii. Of all of you and the experiences that you've called me on, Hannah having that experience with a woman telling her to pay attention to who said something to you about the Alice in Wonderland. So this is you, Lana. Every sentence is like a bite out of a fresh, crisp apple or a pumpkin pie. It's a nourishing. It's a feeding of the soul. So you're doing more than just writing. When you write, you feed the soul. Scott, same thing. When you write, you feed the soul. Lindsay, when you paint, you feed the soul. Whatever it is that you're doing as far as your creativity, you're feeding others' souls. Okay, you're embellishing them, you're building them up, you're expanding that energy, which is really powerful. Okay, who's next?
Awesome. Abby and Marilyn
They're on what?
Abby and Marilyn.
Abby and Marilyn. Okay. So Marilyn, when you go to the gym, people get home and their natural tendency is to think, man, I'm really wiped out. That just really wore me out. You know, I'm just not as strong as I thought I was. Rather than going, dang, I went to the gym and I actually had the strength to work out. You see the difference there? That look at how much stronger you've gotten. Look at the fact that you even went. Look what it's doing to the brain and how your strength. This is you strengthening yourself, but it's strengthening your spirit, your resolve, your presence, and who you are. This is the lion in the bushes knowing its prey is going to come by. This is knowing your prayers are answered. Get that P-R-E-Y, P-R-A-Y. Did you catch that, Marilyn? Okay. Knowing your prayer is happening. It's creating. This is your strength. This is your vibration raising. When your vibration raises, it takes the body a little bit of time to catch up. Okay, because the body's in the physical, the body's a little bit lower vibration than the spiritual. And so it takes a while for the body to catch up. All right, Abby. So, Abby, do you remember that woman that we met when you were here? And this woman really wanted to come to the seminar. And so her daughter says, oh, Mom, you know, you've done so much for us. And here, I wanted to pay you back anyway. And you can use this for the seminar. And the woman goes, oh, no. A week later, a friend came up and said, oh, hey, I want to pay this and you can use that to go to the seminar. Oh, no. And anyway, it happened a third time. And we're like, accept the reward. You want to go to the seminar. This is the way for you to get to this seminar. This is the money coming in. Abby, I know you've given birth, but you can't give birth at 0.5 centimeter. When you're only dilated 0.5 centimeter, it ain't gonna happen. This is about expanding. Are you willing to expand your receptors to receive? I'm gonna ask this to everybody. Are you willing to expand your receptors to receive? This baby, this gift, these gifts that are coming into us, And in any way, shape, or form, are you free of going, oh, no, 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 not me, not me? Are you, Abby? Abby? I allow and I accept and I receive. I allow, I accept, I receive. I allow, I accept, I receive. Oh, good. Whew, 2.5 centimeters. Keep going. Expand. All right. Edna! Nanny, I'm so glad you're here. Edna's my niece in northern Idaho. And Melinda's here too, right? I saw. Mindy?
Yeah, Melinda, she's next.
Awesome. Okay, so Edna's first, right?
Yep.
All right. Oh, this is great. It's almost like family night. I've got my cousin, my 2 nieces, and my sister here. Okay, Edna. All right. My dear, commencement. This is graduating and looking at how far you've come, looking what you've accomplished, what you know, but then starting like an herbal course, starting a study of, it could be herbal, could be metaphysical, could be years and years and years and years and years ago. I just thought, well, I'm going to take this tarot class. I don't remember how, 30 years ago, long time ago. And it was just like, this is my thing. So this is you actually building on your life experience, but getting the kind of the letters behind it, or the certifications or something with this learning. Or if you've been thinking about doing it, just do it. Whether it's an online course, I don't know. But there's something coming down the line. Do it. Okay. All right. Who's
Yeah, Melinda's next one. She's got Jordan there with her too.
Melinda?
Yeah.
And Jordan.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Okay, Mindy, we'll pull one for you first. Okay, Mindy. Anywhere where you've put any fences around love to keep things and people out, or to keep things and people in, are you willing to put those fences down? This is about love absolutely coming to you in profound waves, in your mama's coming through, Thelma. She's talking about heart-shaped cookies. I'll call you. Okay, Jordan. Oh my gosh, it's so great to have you here. Jordan, I'm assuming it's Jordan, my great nephew. Okay, but whether it doesn't matter what Jordan it is, but you know how some painters or some artists are told, oh, you can't make money doing that. Anywhere where you've been told that you can't make money at what you love doing, are you willing to flush that and let that go? And anywhere where you have been, there are some jobs out there that really, really fit people and they're really good at it and they love it, which is awesome. But this is, what's important for you, Jordan, is it's got to feel like play. Can you have fun at this new job? Can you have fun at this new career? Is it right up your alley? Is it what you could see yourself spending a lifetime doing? Because it's got to feel like play to you. And if it is, that's the sign. Go for it. Okay, you're going to be well taken care of. This is called the Devil's Play card. So it's never giving up, moving forward. It's going to be very rewarding for you because you've got both all of these cards, right? You've got the love card right underneath you. You've got the commencement card, which is family. You've got the reward card. So all of these cards exponentially are building through all of you as to what this means. So what a great card for love, right? Love is the highest vibration on the earth. And Mindy, you embody that. Okay, and so this is, Jordan, be free of worrying about the details. It's all going to work out. Okay.
Miguel's on next.
Okay, Miguel. Well, we'll see what what we've got for you tonight, Miguel. Wednesday night was a pretty good card with Hawaii. I thought that was really great. But it also was what a Hawaii symbolizes. So as this reading tonight is culminating and coming to a close, or coagulating or forming, this is the illumination card. This is aha, aha, aha. So right from the very first card, John, Lindsay, Austin, all of you, all of these cards are coming through, and it's about the illumination. Are you willing to give up knowing how you know what you know? Are you willing to give up knowing how you know what you know? Does that make sense, Miguel? Are you willing to give up knowing what you know? Did that make sense to you, Kenan?
Yeah.
Are you willing to give up how you know what you know? Are you? I don't know where that came from, Miguel, but this is the illumination. Every one of us are here because on some level this master that's within us is surfacing. It's coming up, and it's this, are we all willing to let go or give up on knowing or what we know, and knowing where that came from, or needing to know where that came from? It's like the very beginning of the show, and I pulled that same fortune card out of a deck of 85 cards, 84 cards for John. And I was like, wait a minute, am I experiencing last night again? What's happening here? And I just gave it up. It's like, nope, there's no explanation for this, and you just have to go with miracles, with synchronicities. Pay attention to synchronicities. There's more and more of these synchronicities coming all of our ways. So Jordan, when I read for you, it's the Devil's Play card. It's like, Jordan, what if all the cards were stacked in your favor? Miguel, what if all the cards were stacked in your favor? Because you know what? They are. I didn't stack them. I shuffled through them, but they all fall out in a particular special order. Every one of you. What if all the cards were stacked in your order? Okay? Or were stacked for you? Okay?
Yeah. Great. Next is Austin.
Austin, okay. No, Austin. We're pulling your card right now. It's so funny because I mentioned you just a few minutes ago. I think you heard your name. Some people's art is canvas. Some people's art is clay. Some people's art is mechanics. Everyone has an art. And Austin, you have this incredible ability to mold and shape people. People believe what you say about them. So use really kind words, use magical words. Embellish your vocabulary with magic. Because people, your art is people. And our words are the carving utensils. Our words are the paintbrushes. Our words are the canvases. Okay.
Great, it's Lori next.
Hey, Lori. You know, Kenan was talking about this last night. The most important of all the attributes is courage. Are you willing to let go of all fear of what other people think of you or what they thought of you and just move forward? You're done being at the behest and call of what other people think. Because humans think a minimum of 60,000 different thoughts a day. And so there's no way that you can try to control sometimes your own thoughts, let alone someone else's thoughts. And so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they think about you. Are you willing to let that go? Or what other people have said about you. This is the courage to step into Lori. Do it. Just do it. And anything hurtful that's been said to you or about you, understand that when people say something hurtful about someone else, it's a mirror. It's what they're saying about themselves. Understand that. Really important to understand that. Okay?
Awesome. Yeah, Lori, well, Christine Heartsearcher 64 is up next.
Who is?
It's this gal named Christine. I think she's on the show for the first time.
Hey, Christine, welcome to the show for the first time. Thank you for being here. Everybody welcome Christine. That's great. All right, thank you. So I pull a card. As you see, I'm shuffling through the deck. I allow your guides, your higher self, however you want to term it, to pick the card. And again, it's just a preview card. Some of the hardest things, Christine, is to allow those that we love to go through what they need to go through to get their lesson without getting pulled down with them. Trust that they're going to get the lesson. Trust that they're in the best place they possibly can be right now for them, and that they need to be there without you jumping in the torrential waters to rescue them. That's not actual love. Actual love is standing on the shore, throwing a lifesaver, but not wounding or dragging yourself down so that you both go down together. That's this is about really loving yourself and taking better care of yourself ahead of other people. It's the whole, as I said before in the show, it's the oxygen mask on the airplane dropping, taking care of you first. Hope that helps.
Nice. Last on the show was Giles for the first time. It's Giles.
Hey, Giles. And who's Eagle Spa?
That's Giles.
Oh, Giles. Okay, Giles, I'm so glad you finally made it. This is awesome. So, Giles, are you willing to let go of any belief around purifying yourself? Or being free of the need to be perfect? Or this is because this is your wife coming through, and she's saying you were perfect for me. You are perfect for me. And in any way, shape, or form that you felt you were not good enough or are not good enough, by attributing to what you have or don't have, are you willing to let go of that right now? And allow Spirit in. She loved, there's something about her loving candles, her loving really soft light. And she's there with you in no uncertain terms, but she's talking about you've seen fireflies, right? And where you see these flashes of light, she's telling me to tell you that's her. Like, if you're seeing flashes of light, it's not your imagination, it's actually her. And she's definitely around you. And she's talking about taking this trip to the mountains. So I don't know what that means, but do it. Okay, who's next?
That's everybody tonight.
Okay, thank you all so very much for being here. I will do this again Wednesday night. Kenan and I will be here. Love you all very much. Have a great, great evening.